In jail and charged with mayhem. This man is accused of biting off a woman's nose, leaving her scarred for life. For the first time, Stephen Medewis is talking publicly in a jailhouse interview about his version of what happened and why. 24-hour News 8's Leon Hendricks is live at the Kent County Jail with a look at his story and his message to the victim. Leon?
Sue, good evening. The victim and the suspect disagree about how the whole quarrel started in the first place, but they do agree about the root cause. They say that was alcohol. They also agree that if given the chance, that they both would apologize to each other. Both admit it was him versus her, her versus him, a drunk-fueled fight at a house party on GR's west side, with a bizarre and life-altering ending for them both.
Is it ever going to look the same like I was before? I think that's my biggest worry.
Polly Snyder is permanently scarred, and Stephen Medewis could spend life in prison if convicted. For the first time today, he's talking from jail. Her face was next to my face, he said. She was biting all over me, too. Medewis says Snyder was trying to gouge his eyes out and violently hitting him. Quote, she was actually getting the best of me, he said. The blow started flying, he says, because he thought she stole some money. She says it was because he was inappropriately touching her. They both agree, though, on one thing. Booze fueled the fight.
I know that was the reason why it happened. If it wasn't for the alcohol, it would have never happened.
Because of his criminal background and other charges, he struggles with knowing that he faces life. Can't handle a life sentence. Don't want to die in prison, he said. She struggles facing her face.
Seriously, I'm afraid to look in the mirror sometimes because it's not me. I didn't even know until the next day that my nose was gone. The hardest part is walking down the street and having people look at me.
Her nose now crafted by a plastic surgeon using skin painfully removed from her scalp to cover it. There may be several more operations. Medewis says he didn't realize it was that bad. It was like a war to save myself, he said of the fight. I feel sorry for that girl. Sorry it happened. And the sorries are mutual.
Yes, I do accept his apology. And you know something, I apologize to him too for what had happened. I know that wasn't only his fault, it was my fault too.
And in spite of it all,
and I've seen people swerve off, the wrong side of the road just because they're looking at me as they're driving by. And
you won't catch her hiding in shame. The two both admit to struggling with alcoholism. While it started as him versus her, they have a common lesson they've learned about alcohol and drinking too much of it. Both in their interviews vow to change their ways because of how booze has changed their lives.
I do see this as a wake-up call.
Medewis says he plans to plead not guilty to the mayhem charge, a charge reserved for those accused of dismembering a part of their victim's body. Polly says that her doctor is telling her that she could see between 2 and 8 more surgeries to repair her nose. Reporting live at the Kent County Jail, Leon Hendricks, 24-hour News 8.